So how have you found the event so far?
I think it's brilliant to actually mix with people who understand where you're coming from and what you do, because the man in the street doesn't understand that.
Yeah. Do you think living carers are generally not understood particularly well?
No, I don't think they understand what you're actually going through. You know, they don't understand that you're pretty much alone out there. And I think if you can keep up with other carers and bounce things off them, it just helps you to actually get through your day.
Are you part of our Facebook group for Living Care Jobs? How did you find the Facebook group?
I love it. I just discovered it this year, and I've been caring for 10 years, and I really am enjoying it, because if you need to say something, you can actually say it there, and those people understand what you're going through. They understand even about that medication thing. It was so nice to hear what other people were saying.
So, first of all, how did you get into living care? What was
I cared for my dad for 10 years. He had Alzheimer's, and that actually made me realise that I've got a real need inside of me to care for people.
So the role of the carer, you realised, is in that situation when someone's got Alzheimer's, is paramount. And that by going into that kind of work, you knew you were going to fill a void for somebody.
Yeah, I wanted to know that I could care for somebody else like I cared for my dad. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm like. I will go the extra mile for anybody. I want to make an old person's life the happiest that they can have in the last few years of their lives. Even if I only touch them for 3 or 4 months, I know I'm going to make a difference.
That's what motivates you, just making that person happy for those last moments.
Motivates me, totally. You know, a lot of people who are old and have carers, their families don't actually spend a lot of time with them. So the carer is the first hand to that person. You know, and if you can make a difference in their lives, wow, I want somebody to care for me like that. You know?
Wow. How long have you been a living carer?
10 years.
But
not full on. I travel to South Africa and back.
Okay, so basically you come in for a period, once you want a break, you go home.
Yeah.
That sounds perfectly ideal for people travelling in from South Africa.
Absolutely.
And without people like you, we've got a big crisis in terms of a shortage of carers. This really helps us fill that provision. So
absolutely.
It's brilliant that it works for people like you.
Yeah.
What would you advise other living carers looking to get into living care in today's environment? What would be the advice?
I think that you have to have a lot of empathy, and you really have to care about people. It's not a job that many people can go into. It's not a job that you just walk into. It is, to me, it's a heart job, a soul job. It's something that comes from inside of you. You don't do it for the money. You don't do it for anything other than you actually care for people. You know, you want to make a difference in their lives. To me, that is the most important thing. I see so many carers who I've actually worked with. It drives me mental, because they just don't have that feeling inside of them for that person. They're just doing it as a job. It's not a job. It's so much more than a job.
I can see you're really passionate about it.
I'm totally passionate. I get so emotional that I cry so much.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I really get emotional about it.
I'm getting emotional listening to you.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm very passionate, and that's why I'm so glad I found this, because I've wanted to write a book about it. I speak to so many people about it because I'm so passionate about it. You know, I don't think there's enough out there telling people what it's all about. I don't think there's enough reading material. I don't think there's enough done for the carers. I don't think people know enough about it. I think we need to get it out there, you know, because we're doing something that is so important as an old person. I mean, a lot of old people don't see their families for months and months. They don't even get a phone call, maybe one phone call a month. You are the person who's keeping that person alive, keeping their spirits up, you know. That's why I think you've got to really love the job. You really have to.
I almost hope that if I ever get old and I get a carer, I need a carer, they have your passion because you just sound amazing.
I am totally passionate about it. I really do.
I get
like so.
Yeah.
I want to cry because I get so. My kids laugh at me. They say that I'm like the softest person they've ever met. I cry in adverts.
I think that makes you very strong. I think that makes you strong. I don't think that
I'm a
makes you
strong
weak.
person, but I'm a soft person.
I think they're both the same thing.
Yeah.
What do you find difficult about the job?
I think the loneliness is one of the biggest things. That's why it's nice to have a site where you can actually speak to people you understand. You know, even if it's just for a chat, it makes a difference. Sometimes you don't speak to anyone in a week or two. You know, only the person you're actually dealing with. So it's a jolly lonely job. And if you're away from home, it's even lonelier. You know, because it's expensive for your family to phone you.
Yeah.
So that is the biggest thing, having Wi-Fi, as I've said before, so that you can keep in contact with your family and friends.
And we talked about that earlier, didn't we, in terms of maybe care providers making it easier to help you keep, close to your roots, being able to communicate.
Yeah, communication is
Wi-Fi
the biggest
connections,
thing.
Skype, that keeps you going, right?
Absolutely keeps you going. You know, if you don't have that, you literally die inside because you have no one to speak to every day. You can't bounce anything off anybody.
You've got to take care of your own emotional needs to take care of somebody else's emotional
Absolutely.
needs, right?
Absolutely, definitely.
I think you've spoken about what you find rewarding, but if you could surmise what you find rewarding about this type of work, what would you say in a few words? What is the most rewarding aspect of this?
Just seeing the person you care for really happy.
So when
all their needs met on a daily basis.
So when you can see that person feels cared for and is cared for, that gives you some level of contentment
Absolutely.
that no other job really could.
No, you just don't get that from any other job.
So would you do any other kind of work now? If you could do a living
No.
care job or a different
No,
kind
I
of...
wouldn't.
That's really interesting to know.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Well, Lynn, thank you.
Yeah.
I think when we edit this, so you can stop filming now.
Okay.